Hello, everyone. What's going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome to the TN podcast.
Oh my god. Whoa, someone's missing from here.
Instead of to my left, this time across the table from me, we
It's
have
just Friedman.
Friedman.
With
Tyler
no
could
Tyler.
not make it this week, but since we missed last week, we said fuck it, and he gave his blessing for us to go. And oh shit, what was the message he said? He said to say that Black Panther was really good. And there was something else in his message. Where is it?
He thought the Oscar winners were lame.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I guess we can pop right into that story. The Oscars happened.
Oh man, yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to this,
Didn't
especially
care.
after they refused to acknowledge that they snubbed all of anime in the animation category by nominating Boss Baby. But they redeemed themselves by not actually giving the award to Boss Baby, so I can't.
I mean, the fact that it got nominated is pretty shitty, but at least something like Coco, which is supposed to be good, won.
Yeah, happy enough about that.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't care at all. I mean, Shape of Water won. Good for Guillermo del Toro.
I might go see that one now.
Mr. Peel won for Get Out. He won Best Original Screenplay, which is like.
I think he's like the first African American to win that award.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even see that fact.
Yeah, that's why everyone was going crazy.
Well, I thought everyone was going crazy because Get Out was such a crazy movie.
Oh well, I mean that too, but
but yeah, I'm the only thing I'm hyped about is the cinematographer for Blade Runner 2049 won after being nominated 14 times.
Hell yeah.
He finally won a cinematography Oscar. That's impressive because So, this is kind of going into another thing because we just grabbed tons of random news before starting this week. We're not going to do a topic. We'll just talk about news and spiral around.
We got enough to stretch us the whole episode.
But another headline I saw was John Williams has announced that he's done doing Star Wars movies after Episode 9. And this year for Last Jedi, he got his 41st Academy Award nomination, continuing his streak as the most nominations. So, but what I realized is that might not be one every year for him. He might be in different categories for for best song or something, but I figure a cinematographer only gets nominated for cinematography.
Yeah, there's not much else you can branch out into from there.
But yeah, there's not multiple cinematography awards while there are multiple musical ones. I don't know if that's what John Williams has. He might have just 41 freaking just score nominations, which is crazy to think. But either way, I'm
at least loving that Blade Runner at least won something, just because it's already cemented itself as the best movie that no one saw.
Has it though? I've heard a lot of people who are like, I don't actually really like this movie. I've heard on podcasts I listen to people say, I liked the first, I didn't like this, I did like this, and I didn't like the first. I like both, I like neither.
I think most people are like me, who they understand why the first is good, but they didn't personally like it.
Yeah.
Like this one, I still need to watch it, but I feel like I'm kind of in that same camp with them. So
I need to see it. It's one of those honestly, I have no desire to see any of the Best Picture nominees except for Dunkirk, I think.
Yeah, no, usually I don't either.
But what I did see was Black Panther. I tweeted out a review of this after, I saw it the night after we recorded the podcast 2 weeks ago, I think. So it's been a hot minute because Val and I saw it opening week.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I don't want to get too much into it on camera. It was the way I tweeted out my review and I posted it on Facebook, my personal one, not the YouTube one. And I basically said I think it's a B+ movie, an A- Marvel movie. It's one of the best Marvel movies. It's up there.
Interesting.
But it's nothing earth-shattering. I honestly think a lot of what it's getting from it has obvious social connotations, and it's certainly a well-made Marvel movie. I don't think it's a Marvel movie that if it was swapped, if you picked the story up, changed the culture around a little bit, and made it not so socially cognizant, I don't think it would do nearly as well. It would still do very well. It's a well-made Marvel movie. I'm not trying to take away from it, but it definitely has earned more based on its social tone.
Was there something that was lacking, or was just there was something that was
No,
done weird?
it's kind of just I didn't love how. I mean, spoiler alert: the villain loses. And I don't want to give a spoiler, but the villain like comes up, is big and scary, everyone's scared, and then the hero wins anyway. Like that's as broad strokes as I can give it, and it just I don't want to go into details, but even some of the details kind of feel redone. Like you could probably picture there's a couple major fights in the movie, and you could basically guess how every single one is going to go and how it'll end. Like,
Yeah,
have you seen
what's going to happen?
Have you seen trailers? Did you watch trailers?
Yes, I did.
Have you seen a scene involving a giant waterfall, like where they're in a big circle of water?
I think so.
Like he steps off a plane, or he steps out, and he's not wearing anything except like regular clothes, and he has like a shield made out of leather or something, and he's just in water. You can probably guess how a fight in that location is going to end with the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like there's a huge waterfall there. Come on. Like you know what you're going to do. But
yeah, it's staring you right in the face.
So it's a little annoying to me. Val didn't actually get bothered by it as much as I did. But I still liked it a lot. The soundtrack is really pop. I've actually been listening to a few of the songs like every day now for the past few days. It just randomly came back up. And I was listening to a few of them, and it's a really cool, different tone in the soundtrack. It's really enjoyable. Like I like the background music. The tech is really cool. The banter. Val is already on board with T'Challa's sister as one of the coolest characters. She's like the mega nerd, and she does all the cool techie shit for him, and it's really cool. But yeah, overall, I think it was really good. It was a cool story, and the villain was at least interesting. Michael B. Jordan plays it really well, and I think it's overall just a really well-made one. Just not... Like, I'd still say something like Civil War might be better, because Civil War felt riskier, maybe?
How would you compare this one to, like, the more recent...
Like Thor, Guardians?
Well, no, I was gonna say like this is like Black Panther's first standalone movie, and like in recent memory, I'm trying to think what was the last like standalone Marvel movie we got? Was it really like Ant-Man
or Spider-Man?
Oh, okay, yeah. So how would you compare it to like Spider-Man?
It's kind of
like in
different.
terms of a standalone movie.
It's kind of different though, only because no one else has as much like personal power. Not personal power, like you know what I mean, like. By virtue of who they are, as much influence is the word. Like he's a king, so there's like this whole sense of a nation being at stake, which you don't get from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is just kid, and Spider-Man was great because the villain in that movie was interesting too. I was actually disappointed that the villain is basically done at the end of this movie.
Oh, there's no future for that villain.
I don't want to say. Like officially determinedly, but like that's one of my problems is that I still feel like outside of Loki there's been no overarching villain who's lasted at all, like except Thanos has kind of just been looming in the background being ooh, I'm evil,
ooh, he got up off the throne, ooh, he clenched his fist.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, Black Panther, if nothing else, ever since we saw it, every single day I've been watching the first teaser for Infinity War.
Oh, man.
I've already decided that Val and I are going to buy opening night or opening weekend tickets, and I'm going to pre-order them on Fandango right away.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to do it. First time since Star Wars Episode 7 that we've gone opening weekend. And that was again...
you guys would have gone opening to a couple more Marvel movies just because of how obsessed Val is.
Dude, I'm in it too, but it's more just... not wanting to go on the first super insane weekend and just go like we went during the week here. Theater was like a fifth full. It was pretty empty and we went on a Wednesday night, so it was like, and it was new though.
Yeah.
But anyway, I definitely give Black Panther a solid thumbs up. It's funny, actually. We just rewatched Thor Ragnarok last night. I was on my old coworker from my last job. I was on his Plex account because we ran out of Shark Tank episodes to watch. And I was like, oh, it's 10 o'clock. I'll throw on Thor Ragnarok. Why not? That movie's still really good. I think Black Panther was really good. I don't want this to sound like a whatever. I'm just going to say it. I think Thor Ragnarok speaks to me more just because it's a funnier movie. Like, there's definitely humor. No question there's humor in Black Panther. That seems to be the standard going forward.
Was it just more of a serious film?
That, but you can also feel the weight of... I mean, they go out of their way to be like, this is an African culture movie.
Yeah.
And so that kind of is always there. Like, you're in Wakanda most of the time, and you're certainly with Black Panther and his crew the whole movie. So it never really is a feeling of that going away. There really is only like one major scene where he leaves. There's a scene where he leaves Wakanda and goes to Korea for a mission, and that's it. That's like the only time you're significantly out of Wakanda.
Other than that, it's just Wakanda the whole time.
I will say also, they did a really cool job having Korean stuff going on. They play some Korean rap music in the background while they're in Korea. That was cool. But yeah, thumbs up. John Williams done after 9. That's our movie talk, and the Oscars. Those are all together. Yeah, that's it.
All right. So do you want to jump into the awful video game crossover? Or not awful, but we'll start with the awful and get to the better crossover news.
I didn't even know this news. What is this?
So
Go ahead.
I was really concerned when I logged into this because I saw it looked like promotional artwork of Gordon Freeman from Half-Life. I'm like, no, it can't be. Not Half-Life 3. There's no way. And then I see the character standing next to him in the similar suit that he's wearing in Half-Life 2. I'm like, oh god, is that Noctis from Final Fantasy 15?
Hell yeah.
And god, it was. So, to celebrate the PC launch of Final Fantasy 15, there is Half-Life DLC where you can get all the characters looking like Gordon Freeman.
Nice.
This pisses me off to no end. Like, where's my Half-Life announcement? Why are you out licensing shit to Final Fantasy 15? Like,
it's stupid.
This is so dumb. But more importantly, Final Fantasy 15 is still just another advertising platform. First they roped in the ramen noodle company. Now they got Valve helping them out. It's ridiculous.
Actually,
go ahead.
You have to think, though, Valve is getting something from this. I honestly think it might be Valve trying to extend a hand to Japanese developers. Saying,
it might
come to PC, get on Steam.
I know they've been fostering a relationship with Square Enix overall, and I know this is exclusive DLC if you get it through Steam. So that might be their way of saying, like, hey, stop using other platforms. Only use Steam, please.
Or, I also think it's kind of... There's definitely a layer of, hey, maybe you should stop releasing things late on PC.
Yeah.
Like, stop putting as... Like, how long's it been out on consoles?
It's been a little over a year.
Fucking hell, I didn't realize it was that long.
Year and a quarter, I think.
Yeah, so, like, come on. Bring it to PC a little quicker, guys. Come on, we're willing to help.
Deep down inside, it's just Gabe N going like, please, where's Kingdom Hearts 3? I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3. You can have... Look, one of us needs to release a 3 first. Please be you.
That's what I was going to say. Oh, dude, if you release Kingdom Hearts 3, I'll finally talk about Half-Life.
Well, we'll consider talking about Half-Life 3.
This is just something cool that happened today, though, speaking of crossovers, like you were saying. Apparently, someone high up at CD Projekt Red tweeted out something along the lines of asking people if they were interested in Geralt being in another video game this year. And obviously there's not a Witcher game coming this year. People believe that this means that Geralt might be appearing as a crossover character in another video game for the first time ever. One of the biggest speculations is apparently Soul Calibur, because...
Oh, they've done that in the past.
Well, Soul Calibur's had, like, Star Wars, Link, but also, seeing as how Namco Bandai apparently published Witcher 2 and 3, I think, in some regions, that's pretty legit. that makes sense.
Yeah, lends more credibility to that speculation.
But I forget what the rest even were. Let me go back to shitty IGN and pray that one of their fucking ads doesn't play blasting loud. All right. Oh, nope, that's a video. Get the fuck out. See, they have a link to what game is Geralt going to appear in, but they don't actually have an article saying what game is Geralt going to appear in.
Oh, it's just a teaser.
Yeah, but I know I saw this headline somewhere and clicked on a link to read about it. What the fuck, Richard? No, don't play the video. Fucking hell. All right, maybe it's maybe if I do go on Twitter, because that's probably... Oh no, I saw it on my phone. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's cool that Geralt might be in another game, considering they've never done anything like this. Actually, it's not apparently. They've never done anything like this over at CD Projekt, and it's really cool to see Geralt getting exposure and like Witcher in general, and it's just a really cool thing that people are like, hey, why don't you have a big crossover? I mean, if you think about it, Star Wars and Zelda had crossovers with Soul Calibur.
Yeah, those are two of the biggest crossovers I've seen in a video game in a while.
Yeah, and now it's like, oh, yeah, why don't you put Geralt on that fucking category? And it's
might inspire me to finally go play Soul Calibur again.
Oh, did my phone put the article away? Yep, it did. Okay, whatever. It's cool. I'm excited.
All right. I went out of order here. What do we have? Are we right into the Blizzard news?
Yeah, I might as well do that before all the Weeb shit.
All right, no problem. All right, so Blizzard had a pretty good week of announcements. It all started last week when they finally revealed who the new hero, Hero 26, was going to be. There was a lot of speculation for the last couple months about who it would be. It turns out it is a character we've seen before in the last animated short that came out for Reinhardt, where it flashes back to his whole war against the robots and how he lost his captain. It was a really great video. But right at the end of the video, he gets the signal to rejoin Overwatch. He turns back, and the woman who prepares his armor, who we'd already seen in the comic, who's the daughter of one of the existing heroes in Overwatch, says, "Why are you going?" And he's like, "I have to answer the call." And that was their whole marketing spiel. But everyone's like, all right, well, she's like the only character who's been animated in an animated short who isn't a character in the game yet. It must be her. And they were right. It is her. So she is Hero 26. I thought her name was pronounced Brigitte, but she's Swedish, so her name is Brigitta. So or no, the A also sounds like Brigitte. So everyone's making touch of my spaghetti jokes about her name.
No.
But she's interesting. She's like a tank, but she heals her surrounding.
Tank support.
Yeah, she's tank support, and this is the second support character in a row has been released for Overwatch who kind of bleeds into different roles. The last healer they had announced was more DPS oriented, where they had great burst heal, but in order to heal in burst, they need to do damage first. So it kind of incentivizes you playing aggressively in order to heal your team. This one, it's more like play like a tank, but when you are more aggressive, it does supporting things. So I like this role bleed. It's not as discreet as some of the original characters where we're like, you have one guy he's literally just a shield, and someone else who they only heal, and that's it. Now it's...
I have to imagine that part of that is Blizzard learning how to develop for their game. And I know that sounds dumb, but what I mean is it's like because I follow League constantly, and they're about to release a new champion too. It's really interesting to see champions who play with things differently than others.
Yeah. And
you can see how the developers learn how to take advantage of what their game does. And Overwatch probably started based on MOBAs like League.
Yeah, that was definitely what they were going for.
They were like, here's the 5 roles, but we don't have lanes, and everyone just kind of runs around. So now they're kind of playing with what kind of niche you can fill, because in League, obviously, you have 3 lanes and a jungle. You have predefined roles. Sometimes people fuck with them, but there's always the same role. It's just sometimes people play things off meta or do weird, cheesy stuff. But they're still within that map-based system. Overwatch is just so different with different maps and different maneuverability.
Yeah, it's very interesting. There aren't that many first-person shooters that have varying methods of motion in their game.
Not anymore.
A lot of people... Yeah.
Not since they all died facing off against Overwatch.
Yeah. I remember there was one, what was that game? Tribes, where it was like you're constantly like launching across the map. Like
yeah, super jetpacks.
I like cool movement in games like that. Like if I have to press down the control stick to sprint while I'm playing an FPS, I'm not enthralled by that. That's kind of standard at this point. You do something cool with it, I'm gonna be impressed.
I mean, that's why Fury was pretty fun.
I know that it looks cool. I want to try it.
I'll talk about Fury more when we're doing our weeks.
Yeah,
I got some news.
But moving on to the rest of Blizzard news, StarCraft's 20th anniversary celebration starts today, actually.
Oh, cool.
And I kept saying this yesterday when I talked to my buddy. I'm like, yeah, the StarCraft 2 20th anniversary is this week, and he's like, we did not graduate high school 20 years ago. So, yeah, it's been quite a while. I remember playing StarCraft 1 a lot in high school with my buddies. It started.
See, I never did, so I don't have that nostalgia for StarCraft 1.
But like the same nostalgia you have for like Halo, I have for StarCraft 1. Because
totally.
Yeah, but it's like that same kind of thing. But as part of the celebration, they have shit for pretty much every Blizzard game. You log in during the anniversary. I know if you log in like the StarCraft 1 remaster, StarCraft 2, you get like Portress. There's character icons for Heroes of the Storm, blah blah blah. More importantly, exclusive skin for Overwatch. Log in to get your Widowmaker skin that looks like Sarah Kerrigan.
Oh yeah,
looks real cool.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I saw that one. I'm like, oh, free, man! I gotta log in.
Free.
Yeah, right.
Play a game and
StarCraft. I like that.
Yeah, I'll just play a game of Heroes of the Storm and Overwatch and Hearthstone. Oh my god, I'm playing all 3 games.
Yeah, right. Like I like all these games. I don't want to sit down and play them.
Not gonna lie, 2 weeks ago, playing Magic at the store, one of the guys who hadn't been there in a while, as soon as he died in Commander, was playing Hearthstone on his phone.
Oh my god. I'm like, hoping Magic Arena does that.
Fucking druids. No, he was playing a druid, and he's like, warlocks are busted right now.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I haven't played Hearthstone in years.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool that it's the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, long proud history. But in terms of not long and not proud histories, this one just came out today. It looks like they're releasing Diablo 3 for Nintendo Switch.
Yep.
This is something I didn't, think I wanted. I'm not sure if I want it. I'm not upset that it's happening, but this is certainly interesting.
Okay. Either you liked Diablo 3 a lot, or you're like me where you got bored because you don't like those top-down loot games.
I still haven't played Diablo 3. I played Diablo 2 a lot, but
Diablo 3, I think I don't think I beat it one time with 2 co-op buddies, and then I played a bunch of Path of Exile twice. I tried to get back into it twice. And I'm just like, I don't love the top-down thing. I'm more of a third or first-person kind of guy. I mean, okay. I realized saying that I was just talking about Fury. Fury's very different from a loot-based top-down game. Fury's like Ikaruga, but with a sword. Like, that's the best way to put it.
Plus that aesthetic, whereas Diablo 3 is very like...
So, I knew you'd get the aesthetic with Fury. I told you from day one, it's fucking...
No, it's aesthetics the video game. But
you should just listen to the soundtrack when you have some time. Just, like, pull it up.
Oh, man, it's not what I think it is it?
Didn't you watch the video?
No, So I clicked and saw that you were doing it, skimmed through and said, oh, I should probably get back to work. And so I haven't actually watched your Let's Play.
Oh, dude, it's the synthiest fucking thing ever.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Totally listen to the soundtrack when you get a minute, or even just pull up some of it and skip through it.
God, I have all these games that I haven't played yet, but I know the soundtrack is fire. So I'm going to listen to them.
Oh, man. But yeah, that's cool that they're coming out on Switch. Switch really seems to be killing it lately. I'm never going to get one.
They've gotten some pretty good announcements. I'm curious how far it's going to go, because right now we're finally at the point where third-party developers are, announcing every port under the sun for this console.
Dude, it's Skyrim.
It's how the Wii U started, but then they didn't release any of the ports. And now it's like, oh, Switch, here's all of them. Here's everything from last generation.
Well, Switch is also selling way better than the Wii U did.
Oh, it's already outsold it.
I was gonna say, hasn't the Switch outsold didn't it outsell Xbox and PlayStation last year or something? I feel like there was some headline.
It was faster selling, mostly because it was in its first year.
That's true. That's what it was.
Yeah, but what was I saying here? No, Switch has been great for Nintendo. They figured out what was wrong with the Wii U, and it's like they fucked up marketing is not just like an add-on for the regular Wii.
And
Like,
then they made cardboard.
look, we don't want to talk about that one. It's not
The
Smash.
Labo.
We don't want to talk about it.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're like, fucking, who cares about Diablo or Skyrim or Mario or Zelda? Just give me Smash.
Dude, we got Mario, we got Zelda. The only thing missing from a core Nintendo console, besides being like a Mario Party remaster, is Smash Bros.
Do they actually do remasters of Mario Party?
So they announced, I think I brought this up a couple months ago, was that
Probably.
they'll like for Virtual Console, they'll put out all the old Mario console
Of course.
games.
Of course.
But they are doing a special one for Switch where it's literally just mini games.
Wait.
It was like the top
What?
100 mini games from Mario Party
Oh,
are
and
being released
so
as
there's
their
no
own
board or
standalone.
anything?
Yeah.
See, that seems good, because fuck the game.
Yeah, the actual board itself was the worst part of that game.
It's all random bullshit, and someone
Yeah.
gets fucked, and then everyone hates each other because it destroys friendships, because
Yep.
it's built to do that. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Mario Party sucks. The mini games are amazing. So
Speaking of Switch, though.
yeah, this is my transition between the Weeb shit and the Nintendo Switch news. But I just saw this one today. The Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm trilogy is getting released for Switch. I understand that Naruto is not everyone's cup of tea, but I cannot stress enough that Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm as a series is like defining for anime games. This has
Wow.
been one of the first like quote unquote 3D fighting games I played where it actually managed to capture the speed and chaos of a fight, but in a way that it felt like actually structured. Like if you go down like the long history of DBZ games, most of the good ones were 2D fighters like Budokai. Then you got to Dragon Ball's way of saying, hey, let's try and make like 3D combat work. And they came out with Dragon Ball Z Sagas. This game sucked. Don't play Dragon Ball Z Sagas. It's actually awful. I can't recommend it less. Then they followed up by releasing the Budokai Tenkaichi series, which was their way of saying, okay, go back to Budokai, but like make it 3D-ish and add flying. So there was a lot of there was a lot of 3D motion. Your camera was basically behind your character, but it still felt like a 2D fighter that just had like dodging left and right. But then Ultimate Ninja Storm comes out. And you're in a fully like 3D room with someone. You can move in any direction. You don't even have to be fighting your opponent. You can be running away from him if you wanted to. And every character has melee combo, projectile attack, and then specials that are based on each character. And you had the system of, in order to use your strong moves, you had to use chakra, but you had to charge that up to have chakra. So you had to stand still to build up energy, which left you open to an attack. So you could be on the offensive, but at some point you have to leave yourself wide open for something. So it was this balance of, do I want to be like pushing you, or do I need to, conserve my resources? And you have parts in a fight where both players are like, I'm completely fucked on resources. I'm going to start charging up right now. And both would just charge up, not because they were giving each other opportunity, but because they're like, oh shit, my opponent's charging. I got it because I can't land an attack right now. So
here's the question. Do I attack when he's chakraing, or do I chakra too?
Yeah, so it was really fun. A lot of the characters are unique. Like I remember the joke character from Ninja Storm 2. I'm not going to say it because it spoils his hidden abilities. But basically, some of the characters have what they were called, like, I think they're like unleashes or something. Because, like, Naruto has this nine-tailed fox inside of him, and he has alternate forms based on this fox.
I don't know that, but okay.
So if you're below 33% health and your opponent's very clearly winning, you get the ability to unlock, like, your secret shit. Which just involves you maxing out your chakra and then charging a little more. So if your opponent can deny you from using it. But a lot of characters have this like special extra form, which is great. And the joke character in that game had the strongest, like, fuck, I'm losing form in the game. So all I learned how to do was how to beat my opponent as fast as possible using his I'm fucked form. And then spend the first half of the game literally just messing around, chipping away at health to make that easier. And it was like the greatest feeling winning with the joke character.
Oh my god.
So I love Ninja Storm 2. I didn't play Ninja Storm 3 because they came out with one in between 2 and 3 while it was in development called Ninja Storm Generations that honestly sucked. But 3 was apparently really good, so I'm excited to play that for Switch.
Nice.
And it looks like they're following the Steam price. It'd be like $40 for all 3 games. So
that's a good decent deal for any kind of re-release like this. $40 seems to be the sweet spot.
Yeah, especially when it's more than one game. Considering they're still charging like $35 for the full games on Steam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Before I've realized, let's talk about Magic for a while.
Yeah, let's talk about Magic for a little bit here.
So we were going to talk about it last week, but conveniently enough, actually, one of the benefits of us not doing the podcast last week is we didn't get to talk about the spoilers after 2 days. Masters 20, I almost called it modern.
Modern Masters 25.
Masters 25, the set supposed to celebrate the eras of all the history of Magic the Gathering, has been fully spoiled last week, and it's
okay.
Goodish.
I mean, I like it, but it's got some flaws.
So here's the thing. Someone wrote. So I just listened to the MTG Goldfish podcast today. One of them was like, it's decent. The other one was like, actually, this is one of the best sets I've ever seen them make. And I think part of the reason for that is there are some really, really good reprints at most levels that aren't mythic rare.
Yeah.
This is a terrible. So, there was this amazing post on the Magic subreddit. I don't know if you saw it. The winners and losers of Masters 25.
No, I didn't see it.
This guy did this fantastic write-up, and he basically broke out. I'm going to see if I can search and find it real quick. Aha, here it is. I'll send you the link on Discord so you can glance at it while I'm talking about it. But basically, he broke it down. Someone actually gave him Reddit gold for it. Cool.
Okay.
The winners are Commander players, which is totally true. There are, at the Mythic slot, one of the best Mythics, actually, in my mind, are 2 Commanders who never had foil printings, who are going to sell the fuck out for foil printings. Animar, Soul of Elements, and Prosh, Sky Raider of Kerr. Also, Prosh has his Kobold's token for the first time ever.
Oh my god, finally, my stupid, what's his name? Norn the Wary deck uses those, and I was always pissed I never had real tokens to use.
Yep, we now have real 0/1 Kobold tokens. Animar and Prosh are... I think people are underestimating how much they're going to sell packs. No, they have foils. Because Commander used to be only foils, right?
No, it was the opposite.
No.
The only foils were the oversized ones.
You're right, so there are no foils of
there
these
are no
two
foils.
cards.
This is the first time they're getting foils, so...
So this is a case where the non-foils are going to sell for a few bucks, and the foils are going to be $50 each.
Yep, it's one of those.
And there are a few other cards, I want to say, that never had foil printings before. Probably some of the really old cards. I genuinely don't remember. But that is amazing. So that's a big win for Commander players. I'm just looking at... Yeah, Azusa Lost but Seeking was pretty expensive. First-time foils, Magus the Wheel, Ash Barons, Isan's
Magus of the Wheel was never foil? I thought that was
because
printed
it was
in Time Spiral.
It was only printed... Yeah, it was, but I guess it didn't have a foil. I don't know. You might be wrong. Here's an easy fix. Masters 25. First-time foils. That's let's see. First-time foils. No, not modern
No,
Masters.
I stand corrected. Magus of the Wheel is new-ish.
Sweet.
Commander 2015.
Ah.
Okay, yeah, that's why.
How do you expect the watermarks to impact the prices? But yeah, it's super cool. There are first-time foils, Commander players. Yeah, I know because I am one of them. Love, love, love foils. I buy pretty foils all the time to bling the shit out. I actually saw a post of someone today on the EDH subreddit saying they wanted to get a Doomsday for their Kess deck. I kind of like that idea. And the new art for Doomsday is fucking gorgeous.
It's real sick. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I could pull off, even without a Lab Maniac insta-win combo, I could just Doomsday into a value pile with, like, Torment of Hailfire and a Reverberate.
God, that sounds disgusting. I don't want to lose to that.
I feel like, I feel like I could do that somehow. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Probably
All I know
not.
is I'm happy about the filter lands. I know everyone's upset they're not the fetches, but this is part of an ongoing issue I have with Magic is that cards from Lorwyn and Eventide are hard to find and getting expensive, and this is part of the way to fix it is just reprint them.
And the fact that these are the enemy colors, Rishadan Port.
Hell yeah, finally.
Is an insanely good one. Ash Barons, not going to lie, seeing how that's seeing play in Pauper, and it sees play in Commander, the fact that it's a foil is amazing.
The thing about Port getting reprints is it matters more for MTGO because it's way more rare
Yes.
there because of how limited it was when it was in its original
Speaking
Masters
of which,
release.
let's just keep going through his list because this is a very well done one. Another winner of players is Legacy Players. As we said, Rishadan or Rishadan?
Rishadan. That's what I've always
Rishadan.
called. It's probably wrong though.
No, I feel like I've called it that. I'm just confusing myself. Rishadan Port, Busted Land and Death and Taxes. Basically, the only thing that was being a price entry to that deck, really, at this point, wasn't it?
Ever since Wasteland got reprinted, there hasn't been anything else besides Vial that's expensive.
And Vial got reprinted in Iconic.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's the Legacy Gateway drug of Death and Taxes. Chalice of the Void getting reprinted. Imperial Recruiter, even though that's not really a deck anymore, apparently, because apparently since Top got banned on the MTG podcast, they were talking about today.
Aether Vial's down to 25?
Yeah.
Oh man, what world am I living in?
I sold the one I opened in Iconic back to the store probably for like $10.
Damn, I'm pissed. I have the one with the weird ass Mirrodin artwork. I wish I had these ones.
Oh, the green person?
Yeah.
I like the blue guy with the looking in the vial.
Yeah, it's really good artwork.
I mean, nothing's ever gonna top the masterpiece. I don't actually remember if I don't think I have the masterpiece of that yet. Let me check my tracking document. Since I have a document where I keep track of how many of those. The Inventions Collection. Do I have an Aether Vial? Nope. Anyway. So, Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Yeah, that's a solid list for stuff for Legacy players to get reprinted.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just looking back at the spoilers. I mean, and a personal win for me on a side note, Gisela, my bae. She's in the set. She doesn't deserve to be, not gonna lie. It's pretty sad that they couldn't put Avacyn in. They clearly picked Gisela because they probably felt like they couldn't put Sigarda for whatever dumb reason. Even though there's a Boros, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know what their deal was with the color.
Sigarda is the only one of those three with value, and they didn't print her. Not counting Avacyn, who will see reprint until the end of fucking time because of Commander Flares. Yep. Every deck with white just jams it. Those with severe 90s nostalgia.
Oh my God.
Didn't think about this watching it, but there are a lot of fucking cards in here that are originally very old.
The fact they got Counterspell, Ritual, and Bolt in the set, I'm like, all right, good. You hit all the cornerstones of old school Magic. Except
Brainstorm.
We don't want to talk about that.
Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. Brainstorm isn't it. They can't have Ancestral because it's a Power 9.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I gotta say, every single card that has the watermark and centered text, as a side note, looks
the formatting looks
beautiful.
Great.
Armageddon, Blood Moon. People were kind of back and forth. I saw a few posts going each way about Lightning Bolt not having that treatment. Some people being like, "Oh no, I wish it had the center text," and some people were like, "Oh no, the old flavor text is so important."
Yeah.
Also very funny. Oh, I didn't even realize Pyroclasm was here with that centered treatment. Holy shit, that looks pretty.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I'm on Mythic Explorer. Holy shit, I didn't realize that. Gotta say it's funny that shitty green dinosaur that was reprinted in both Ixalan sets is here, and Ravenous Chupacabra are the two Ixalan cards. While I am very sad that some big Kaladesh cards from my base set didn't get printed, overall I think they picked cool stuff. They also picked assembly workers to go with old assembly cards like Mishra's Factory, which I really appreciate.
Oh, yeah.
This is their one chance ever outside of like an Artifact Masters set to ever pull off something like that. Oh my god, dude, look. Arbor Elf got that. Oh my god. Arbor Elf has the centered text. I've never seen a centered tap symbol like that.
All right, let's see this one. I wasn't on Mythic Spoiler, but I'm going. Let's see it.
Oh my god. That looks sick.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Dark Ritual looks amazing. Diabolic Edict. Oh, Brainstorm has it too? I just remembered the brainstorm art. I totally didn't even. Oh my god! Gotta get one of those brainstorms. Oh man, Counterspell has it. If only I
I
didn't
like
have
the M symbol on it. Looks pretty nice.
So a lot of people were wondering going into this set, since we're kind of just ignoring the viewers at this point because these are all gorgeous fucking cards.
Oh crap! Court Hustler's in it. My MVP from Blue White Titan.
Oh right. Dude, they were talking about that on the MTG podcast, or no, the professor mentioned it in his Pauper video, and he's like, actually, it's not that good though because of white being in it, and it also doesn't do much.
Yeah, he was complaining that you couldn't flicker it, which is a legitimate.
That's what it is.
Issue
That's
with
what it is. But anyway, also that Savannah Lions new art. Here you go.
Oh
yeah. What was it? Fuck, I just derailed myself. God damn it. I don't remember. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Set's cool overall. Oh, Vindicate also has. Oh, the watermarks.
The classic artwork on Vindicate. I'm so happy about that.
It's real fucking cool. Although I gotta say, maybe it's because Val's so into Soren, but I actually really like the Soren artwork where he's just disintegrating a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But the watermarks really make this cool. But also, a lot of people were wondering, what are they going to do for the original Magic sets? They didn't have watermarks, and they just put the big Magic M, and it looks great.
It looks solid.
Cards like Blood Moon. Blood Moon looks so sick with just the non-basic Lancer mount with the what's the dark icon of the crescent moon behind it.
Yeah,
Blood Moon just looks fucking cool. Anyway, there's lots of new tokens. There's new art for a lot of things like Imperial Recruiter, Doomsday. Tree of Perdition is in this set, and no one likes it because it. So actually, someone posted on the Reddit. I don't know if you saw this. Morrow posted on his Tumblr because someone asked him about it. He said it was a last-minute replacement for something.
Interesting.
So hopefully we'll find out what that is. But anyway, let's keep going. We've been, as always, sinking into Magic. Yeah. And then winners, limited players. This does look like a really powerful two-color format.
What was the last Master set? We had Iconic?
Yep.
And before that was multicolor with Modern Masters. Was it 2017?
The one we drafted, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you could say Unstable.
Yeah.
Which we still need to finish.
Yeah, we do. We still have half that ready to go.
It's so...
Eventually.
Yeah. No, but overall... Okay, so losers. Modern players.
RIP.
Modern got almost nothing that Modern players were looking for in this set.
We got like one card that a Modern deck was waiting for, and it was a Chalice of the Void reprint.
I gotta say, Blood Moon has also been seeing a lot of play.
Blood Moon also. Maybe, what was it? Ensnaring Bridge. A bunch of decks want that.
Eidolon, always good for burn, but Saffron Olive actually mentioned that now that Blood Moon is going to be cheap, he can make budget decks that are all Blood Moon decks. But yeah, there's really not a lot here for Modern people that wasn't already in high demand. Like Ancient Stirrings is a great uncommon reprint because that's
nice.
A card that's probably just going to creep up slowly as Tron gets more and more fucking popular.
Yeah, it was
Curse
one of those.
Catcher is an amazing, like, that's the thing.
It's these uncommons that shouldn't be that expensive. I'm happy they're dealing with those.
So that's the big takeaway. I know we've been blathering on. And then the other loser is LGSs and box crackers, which is also extremely true because this is not a set to open for value, but fuck it, we buy singles anyway, so who cares?
I'm sort of happy about that because it means that if you want to draft it, you're not seeing a markup because stores are just ripping them open for products.
Yeah, that's fair. But drafting costs so much money and you don't want to really draft.
Well, originally we had planned possibly doing a topic this week, and we were talking about Master Set. And one of the things I wanted to complain about was the Master Set is trying to deal with two different people. One group that wants reprints, they just want to pay for reprints. And the other group that wants to draft. And the reprint group doesn't want to see draft-focused cards in their packs, and draft-focused people don't want to see the powerful reprints. So the Masters kind of have that weird issue they need to balance. And I know this is a big problem with this set is that it looks really good for drafting, but it's not a value crack open pack set.
No, it's a very hit or miss because you could open a Jace and pay for almost an entire booster box, especially if they go down in MSRP, which they probably will, like Iconic, because they're in Walmart and Target. Yeah,
a ton of the values at Mythic on this set, so it's not the best for the average person.
a ton of like the other thing is Imperial Recruiter is going to tank in price quickly.
Yeah, it's going to drop pretty hard once
It's
more widely available.
Imperial Recruiter, even at Mythic, is one of those cards that no one actually wants. It's just expensive because Portal 3 Kingdoms is a super not printed at all set, and it's a card that did see play. It's like the only card from that entire set that saw play.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why. And in some cases, hell, the Recruiter of the Guard from Conspiracy 2. Actually,
Yeah, it kind of replaced it.
Oh, God, I can't remember which card from Conspiracy was in here. Do you remember what was from Conspiracy? Oh, also the reprintings of Red and Blue Elemental Blast make me want to put those in fucking Kess also.
I want to say it was a white card. I don't know why I'm thinking that.
Oh, Swords to Plowshares also has the fucking center text for me.
Yes. Oh, God, I need more of them.
Oh, they're so pretty. That's
Listeners,
so
you probably already know
clean.
this, but I play white in like basically every deck I own. So Swords of Plowshare is the mainstay for me.
White is a strong color. Also, another sad not reprint, Astral Slide not getting reprinted. Fucking sucks.
Man,
There's a cycling theme in the deck. It would have convinced me to build the cycling commander deck that's been in my brain for decades, ever since I saw the same one that everyone else makes.
Nah, it's never gonna happen.
Oh, what the fuck was from Conspiracy?
I know, I'm looking through each watermark here trying to figure out what it was.
Dude, that is exactly what I'm fucking doing. I'm trying to just remember. Cloudblazer is an amazing pick from Kaladesh. Self-Assembler, which is also amazing because Mishra's Factory is an assembly worker thing, which is so cool. And Treasure Keeper. So I played against this one of the new guys at the store who only started showing up a few weeks ago. He has a Marin deck, and Treasure Keeper, the card from Aether Vault that basically cascades for 3 when it dies, for 3 or less when it dies.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing is a powerhouse in Marin. Holy shit.
Oh, yeah, when you can abuse that.
It's like...
It's dirty.
What was the other one that when it dies, you... Oh, the Eldrazi, the Matter Reshaper that only does your top card? This is like,
the 3/2 guy.
Yeah, this is like, no. When this dies, cascade through until you hit a 3 or less drop. It's so cool.
Was it a multicolored card? I just looked through all of these.
I'm looking. It's not... Oh, Grenzo. Grenzo Dungeon Warden was from the first
He's from the
Conspiracy.
first one.
What was from the second Conspiracy? I don't care, listeners. You guys got to deal with it. You knew when you heard us talking about Magic that this was going to be the fucking course we took for a while.
Yeah, right.
I got to say also, almost all the artifacts being from artifact sets is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not a land. None of those are from there.
Do they just have like a comprehensive list here?
Someone put one on Reddit, I'm sure.
If you Google Master 25, the first 2 are Wizards links, 1 is the visual spoil, and the 4th one is a thread called "You Shouldn't Buy Masters 25."
Whoops. It's so... Can I just say how weird it is to see cards from, like, Ixalan and Amonkhet along with cards from, like, Alpha?
It's really weird seeing stuff that was printed within the last year.
But then again, that is the whole point of the set. And it is very cool to see. Like, So, as he said in the list he stole from Reddit, one of the winners of this is definitely nostalgia people. You really do feel like you're looking at the history of Magic the Gathering in this.
Oh man, we're getting new morph tokens.
Really? New art?
Yeah, with new art.
Oh, you're gonna get some of those.
Yeah, probably. For that stray 1 or 2 creature in my commander decks that all morph.
Yeah, dude. Fuck morph. There's so many Zendikar cards. Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Then again, it might just feel that way because we hit so many planes on Zendikar and our eyes just kind of go to them.
It's also a very...
Oh my god.
quote-unquote iconic symbol.
There can't be a card that... They can't have not picked a card from Conspiracy, can they have?
Now I'm drawing a blank here. What was the Conspiracy 2 logo?
It looked kind of like Conspiracy. Oh my god.
Oh, that's what it was? Oh, I definitely passed by it, not realizing what it was.
What was it?
What's the symbol?
No, what's the card?
No, I don't know. I'm just looking at the symbol. So I'm like, I was misremembering. I was looking for something else.
Also, the fact that they picked... So, if you recall, so this is actually one of my most disappointing things as a Commander player. The fact that their Commander 2017 card or 2018 card is fucking Izzet Chemister.
Oh yeah, that sucked. They
A
could have
card
picked
that
so many
sees
better cards.
nothing. I would never play this fucking card. No, fuck you. Pick. Okay, Reform is cool because it has the token thing. Fine, but like, really, is it Chemister? This is the card that you pick. Oh god, No, the real question is, what was the card from last year's Commander? Masters 25 sets set list. I think this is kind of what I want.
The card from Conspiracy 2 is Deadly Designs.
Deadly Designs.
Yeah, this is an uncommon that no one's ever heard of.
Did I? Oh my god, I fucking looked at it and my brain didn't even register it. I remember this card. This was actually a cool card.
It is really interesting.
It's such a cool card. Fuck. Oh my god. It's funny though. They had to pick cards that like really don't fit with all the conspiracy cards.
Oh yeah, they can't pick any like named mechanics.
They can't pick any like draft stuff because whoops, we don't have draft stuff. Masters 25 sets. I just want all I want is a fucking list. Oh, God. Why can't they just give a list of what the cards are from? Rarity shifts, cycles, cards with new... Wow, there's cards with a lot of new art. Holy shit, I forgot. Oh, Regrowth also has the centered text. All right, we're ruining the podcast right now. Let's switch. So, yeah, Masters 25. We're not going to draft it probably more than maybe once. If I walk into the store and they're like, oh, my God, no one's here for Commander, please do it. Other than that, probably not. But there is other Magic news. They announced for the 25th anniversary one of the craziest draft things I've ever heard.
Wait, I haven't heard about this. What did they announce?
So they announced that over 6 GPs this year, if you win a sealed event, you will be invited to do whatever a Rochester draft is at some GP later in the year, where you will Rochester draft unlimited and beta.
What?
No kidding.
I mean, it's going to suck because both those sets are offered for limited, but that's insane.
Dude, but if, like, could you imagine what it would feel like to open up any of those packs?
Wait a minute. All right, this is weird. They have a primer on Rochester Draft on, the Wizards' home site. It's instead of everyone opening all their packs at the same time, one player opens one booster at a time, and every player
picks a card from it in order. It's fucking weird.
What the fuck?
It's so strange.
Oh, because you see what everyone else is picking as they're picking.
Yup.
God, that's weird.
Yup.
It's definitely gonna be interesting.
It's a super cool idea. Sadly, absolutely. So here's the actual article. Later this year, or 25th, we'll be throwing 6 massive can't miss birthday parties, whatever, blah blah blah. Limited edition beta and unlimited Rochester drafts. Grand Prix Vegas and Gen Con will have beta, and other events will do unlimited. So basically, the reason this is interesting, people at home, is that people could open Black Lotus in these drafts.
I don't want to think about this. That's so much money on the table.
My immediate question was, how does this even work? How do you do this? And people are guessing that they're using super ancient product that they have stored away.
This vault.
It even says in their post, we'll be opening the vaults for other historic draft opportunities, giveaways, prizes, and more that feature sets from Magic's entire history this year. That's
ridiculous.
Fucking crazy. Even my thought was, oh my God, does this mean the reserve list might be going? No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
They're printing gold bordered versions of beta just for this draft.
I would fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just to say you did.
Just for the nostalgia experience.
But the fact, so it seems like it's literally you have to win a sealed event at at Grand Prix to be one of like 10 people who get the chance to do this.
It's enough incentive to get people to play.
We've been talking about Magic for like 20 plus minutes. Maybe
I know. All right, let's
go on to the Weeb shit.
From one nerdy thing we talk way too much about to a different nerdy thing we talk way too much about, and just slide straight into the Weeb shit. So 2 weekends ago, all this news about Crunchyroll, by the way. Crunchyroll hosted their anime awards, and
Oh fuck! I forgot to look up all the winner things.
to coincide with it, uh, Crunchyroll partnered with Twitch again to bring us Twitch watches anime again, and I think they need to start doing this one more regularly because they started. What did they show off? It was this one show about like falling in love in early high school, but it was one of those shows that was critically acclaimed because it doesn't feel like an anime; it feels like real people. And Twitch was just memeing the ever living shit out of the finale for that episode. Like
Whoops.
Twitch chat gets people to want to watch all the shows that showed up during that stream, and I love it. The only problem was they compressed this whole stream into a 24-hour period, so most of the good shows aired at like 3 and 4 in the morning on Friday when I was at work and couldn't sit there and meme with the internet for Konosuba. So I was upset, but it got a lot of people watching shows they wouldn't otherwise. I think Twitch definitely needs to partner more. They should have learned their lesson after that whole Yu-Gi-Oh debacle where they showed the whole thing. Said it took 3 times as long as possible because they put commercials every 5 minutes. But
the important news from the awards, though.
The important news from the awards, though, is that Hero Academia won a lot of the awards.
Woo!
But more importantly, I think I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Did Made in Abyss win Anime of the Year?
Sure fucking did.
Good. It deserved it.
Made in Abyss.
So, for anyone who didn't follow Crunchyroll Awards last year, there was a lot of issue with the judging and a lot of shows won in categories they really shouldn't have. With this one, they've really kind of honed in on what they needed to do. They downplayed how much the community played a role in it. So that way, if there was anyone like rigging the election, it wouldn't matter as much. So the community was essentially one judge, and they had a bunch of other judges from the industry taking who the community nominated into consideration. So the winners were a lot more in line with what they should have been. I got a chance to watch some of the stream after the fact. It's the problem with this award was it's like if anyone listening has been to a convention, when you go to like a big panel at a convention, it always has that hint of cringiness, despite the nerdy stuff you're enjoying. The problem with this show is it felt like it should have been like the Oscars where it's very serious, but the whole room is just filled with cringe. So it was very difficult to watch, but overall very enjoyable. Seeing Chris Sabat win his Lifetime Achievement in Anime Award was amazing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So he certainly deserves it.
Yeah, dude, he's everyone.
He's everyone.
They had a bunch of different anime YouTubers coming as presenters. I know Eyepatch Wolf was there, Glass Reflections, Giguk, a lot of people all presented. Shitbag Jeff Thu from Mother's Basement was there. This was definitely
Eyepatch Wolf.
Yeah, Eyepatch presented one. He was really good. He did. What was it? I'm trying to if he was the one who shared one of his videos. It was a snap he recorded right when he got to Vegas for the awards. He's like, this kids, if you sit here and just complain about Yu Yu Hakusho enough, you can make it here too.
It's so funny. It's so funny watching his stuff because the guys I watch do Let's Plays, the Best Friends channel. They started his channel by accident, basically, because one of the guys on that channel basically said Yu Yu Hakusho sucks ass, and Eyepatch Wolf was like, "Fuck you! I'm gonna make a video saying why it doesn't," and he started doing videos off of that video, and now here he is.
Yep,
it's fucking great.
God, the memes make the dreams. Keep it on the topic of Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll has had a big issue this last season just because of the spike in popularity of shows that come out on Saturdays and Sundays. It's caused the site to be down almost every Saturday night for at least an hour.
So you know what's hysterical? While we were talking about the awards, I went to Crunchyroll to look for the awards, and the site said it's too much traffic. Try again in a few seconds.
Are you kidding me? So they were. Oh my god, same. This is awful. So they released a press statement on this saying that this season in particular, they've seen the biggest spike for individual shows wanting to be watched within 3 hours of them coming out. And this is impacting weekends more aggressively. I don't know what the hell's coming out. What's today? Today's Tuesday? I don't even know what releases today, and they're crashing the site. But I
also have to imagine it's just anime getting more popular.
It is. Crunchyroll's grown a lot, but they're addressing the fact that, especially in the next coming seasons, they're going to try and address the bandwidth problems. I know last year, whenever Titan came out on Saturday morning, the site would just shit itself. And they're aware of the fact that we are having 3 of their big mainstays coming back in the next 6 months. Next month you have the overlap of Hero Academia and Food Wars on the weekend. And the following season you have Hero Academia and Titan in the same season. So they're aware that the weekends are going to be shitty. So they've got to expand what they're doing, or we're going to have more site outages.
They got to call the people. They got to call the people who survived that biggest DDoS attack in history.
They're like, quick, tell us your secrets.
Give us your help. We need your servers right now.
All right. Moving off of Crunchyroll, I was hyped about this because I'm a big fan of the show RE0. They had announced a couple weeks ago that the Funimation was going to start releasing the official dub, and this week they announced the it's not quite full dub cast list. They announced the cast list for every character who appears in the first 12 to 15 episodes, but they saved those quote unquote surprise characters who show up in the last 5.
That's a great way to do it.
But the problem is the last 2 characters they didn't announce are 2 of the most important characters of the show. Like they showed off the main character. So Tim, you watched the first episode of RE0, right?
Yeah.
They introduced the main character Subaru, the girl he runs into, a couple of other important side characters. They showed off the voice actors and actresses for, and surprisingly, a lot of them are newcomers. I have heard them in almost nothing because a lot of the shows that they've worked on, I've already seen subtitles, so I didn't watch the dub for. But there's almost no actors who I recognize. There's one guy, Patrick Sates, who we both know him because he did Sweet JP in Redline. He's like the only voice actor I recognize on this list. There was a couple others who I remember them. I'm not a huge fan of them, but they're not main characters, so it really doesn't matter. But there's the villain from the second half. He is going to be make or break for the show because if he is not creepy enough, he's going to just come off as weird and no one's going to enjoy that arc. Wow. So I really hope they don't butcher the dub for this because I want to own it on Blu-ray.
Maybe the dub will make me want to get back into watching it again and try it again.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. The main character's voice acting did such a good job on that show. Like the second half, he has this whole arc where I don't know if a dub actor could portray him correctly for that arc.
Okay. Well, speaking of dub, though, I've been watching a few clips of My Hero's dub.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering why you put this on here.
Yeah, I randomly started watching, like, it started with the All Might versus Nomu.
Yeah.
Where it's watch an Armstrong family member beat the shit out of a guy. I gotta say, almost everyone is really good, and I can kind of get over Deku in these scenes.
Listen, we may have thrown this term around before, but this is a problem I have a lot. A problem I have with a lot of modern dubs is that all the side characters sound perfectly fine. The main character can't stand him, and that's a problem that I personally have with the hero dub. That I just don't like Deku's voice acting.
I don't disagree, but he also feels definitely distinct from everyone else. Like, I realized Bakugo and Todoroki have almost no difference in how they sound whatsoever when I listen to the dub.
Yeah, pretty much.
They just sound like, oh, I'm doing
angry and depressed.
Angry guy, yeah. I'm brooding guy from the high school class. Like, the fuck you. You sound identical. I don't know. It might be annoying, but I also then watch like Bakugo and Deku versus All Might, which is watching that in English is fucking hysterical. Like that fight is so funny to me every fucking time when All Might just pops up next to Bakugo. I was like, oh, what's you guys doing? But just watching little scenes like that. I haven't watched any episodes yet, mostly because we just rewatched season 2. And I don't really want to go back and rewatch season 1 no matter what, either way.
Overall, the dub is promising. I'm glad people enjoy it. The only scene in particular I'm really upset they changed. Episode 3 of season 1, when All Might sees that Deku completely cleared the beach using One for All, and he just screams, oh my goodness, as he transforms mid-sentence. When they did that in English, they didn't know what to do because like All Might's defining characteristic in the subtitle version is that he throws random English in. But when you're in English, like, what do you do for that? So they have him just throw in, like, random cursing occasionally. So he, instead of saying, oh my goodness, he says, holy freaking pile of crap as he transforms. And I was like, no, it's not the same. Just leave it as, oh my goodness, and have him transform.
The flip side of that, though, is some of the dub lines are way better translated than some of the subs are. The one that keeps getting me is I keep rewatching the Nomu All Might fight. Deku in the sub says he's giving it his all even though he's bleeding.
Yeah.
And then in the dub, it's like he's giving it his all even though he's injured, and that works so much better than bleeding.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that I think of it every single time I watch. I'm like, oh, injured sounds so much better than, oh my god, he's bleeding and he's giving it his all. That's like, what is that supposed to fucking mean?
I don't know. It was after they put out the trailer that had the new opening in it. I was like, oh man, I gotta watch the Nomu fight again. I clicked on the first video, not realizing it was dubbed, and I noped the fuck out faster than I could.
Dude,
back.
come on. He only has a few lines, and Armstrong does a great job.
Oh, no. I went, after watching in Japanese, I went back to English because I'm like, I wonder how Chris Sabat did it, and I watched it anyway.
Oh, shit. He was fucking Armstrong?
He's All Might. Yeah, he's Armstrong, All Might.
Jesus, dude.
Vegeta,
he does that
Piccolo.
and Vegeta and Piccolo?
He's everyone. I know this is a meme, but the president of Funimation basically said, I don't pick up a show unless I can find a role that Chris Sabat should play.
I remember you said this. You've said this on the podcast before. That's fucking great.
He's in everything, and I love it.
He's a great voice actor.
Yeah, he's
when
good.
When he screams plus Ultra at the end of that fight, dude, it's pretty fucking close to the Japanese guy.
Yeah, he's honestly the best person to play All Might.
He's great.
I'll jump on real quick to the next bit of hero news. We're getting official confirmation. This isn't my bullshit. Oh, they looked at the fucking airing dates thing. This is Funimation and Crunchyroll are both reporting that Hero Season 3 will be 25 episodes long. So
Woo!
If I'm wrong on this one, it's not on me this time.
We don't have confirmation of Food Wars length?
Food Wars is only 12. So basically, the official word on Food Wars was they'd originally called the next season Season 4. And everyone was confused because Season 3 was supposed to be 24. What actually happened was they needed to take an anime show. It's officially being labeled as Food Wars Season 3 Second Half is the official name of the show.
I've asked this before and I keep forgetting.
So we're definitely only getting 12 episodes, but it's going to pick up immediately where it left off in the last episode. But there is an OVA that's coming out this week, but it's literally just about Ariana learning to like do her own laundry while she's at Polar Star.
Nice.
Like stuff that doesn't matter for the plot is literally just for the fans.
Sweet. Sounds excellent.
But still, shoehorning Hero into this discussion. The trailer for Season 3 came out this week, showing off, I think, animation for the first 4 or 5 episodes of the first arc.
Ooh, haven't watched it.
And the opening song plays in the background of the second half of the trailer. It's by the band Uberworld, who I was super hyped for.
You said it was just the chorus. Is it actually the whole song?
It's a little bit of the lead-in from the verse and the chorus.
I can't listen.
When I first heard it, I was upset because Uberworld does 2 types of songs. They do the over-the-top hype songs that you saw with like Bleach or Blood Plus, and they have like the pretty like calm average songs you saw with like D Gray Man. And with this one, it feels like it's one of those calm songs. I'm like, no, wrong one. You picked the wrong genre. Go get the other Uberworld to do the opening. But I think it's gonna grow on me. It's gonna be kind of like Season 2 opening one, where I didn't like it at first, but then it grew on me. But we'll see. But Hero is coming out April 7th. Pretty much everything in the universe is coming April 7th through 9th, but I think is just that weekend.
Yeah.
Got a couple stragglers.
Yeah,
that's Saturday through Monday. You got a couple stragglers coming out earlier in the week. I know Legend of Galactic Heroes is earlier that week.
Oh my god, I think that's the weekend of Alvin's wedding.
For real?
Oh no. Oh fuck.
Well, just
sorry, dude. I gotta peace out for a half hour to watch some anime.
You'll set you get back from the wedding and be like, all right, time for the main event.
Yeah, time for the real reason we took this drive.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
What do we got? Last thing I got on here to close the weep shit is what did we watch this week? What did
nothing.
I watch this week?
I rewatched the fight every day almost. See, I have like this pattern at work. There's a few. Oh no, I listen to the third theme every day in English and in Japanese.
Oh yeah.
Usually watch the Nomu fight. Started listening to the Bakugo Deku All Might fight. I haven't watched much anime, but now that Val and I finished Shark Tank watching, and I couldn't find an overseas version of season 8 that would download of Shark Tank, so last night we watched Thor Ragnarok, like I said, and now it's time for probably finding a show. There's so many fucking shows.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like, even on Netflix, like, Altered Carbon is supposed to be really good.
Oh yeah, I saw the first episode. It was really good.
I never sat down and watched Black Mirror.
Yep, it's on the list.
I just opened right before the podcast while I was eating dinner. I watched an episode and a half of Devilman Crybaby. I guess you could say that's what I've watched. I just watched an episode and a half of that just before we started. That show is not for kids at all.
No, this is NSFW.
That's a hard fucking R right there.
Yeah.
Tyler's classic hard R. Yeah, that's about. I really haven't watched. Like I said, we just watched Shark Tank. That's what we've been doing because it's so much fun. I don't know what the fuck most of these shows on Netflix are. All of a sudden, it's like every day there's new stuff on Netflix.
Random shit you've never heard of.
What is this?
Yeah.
Like, okay, Netflix originals. There's Godzilla. Yeah, I watched that. What is the beginning?
Oh, the beginning.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. So it came out this weekend.
Holy shit, you're right.
I haven't
just
had the
remembered
chance to start it yet, but I want to watch it. I might watch it with my buddy Dave because we're just about to finish Valvrave the Liberator, and that's just fucking retarded. Don't watch that show. But we're coming to a conclusion, so we got to pick up something new. So we might do that one. From the discussion threads, it looks like it was pretty interesting. So I'm gonna give it a shot, especially because the dub seems promising. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a dubbed or not. I mostly just like hearing Ray Chase, who I misnamed as Ray Charles like 2 episodes ago. Yeah, I like Ray Chase as a voice actor, and he's doing pretty much the main character, so I kind of want to watch it just for him.
Oh, Freeman, I know what you watched. Or no, Tyler watched. Fuck. I don't think you watched it. There was a movie.
Oh, The Fullmetal Alchemist? Yeah.
That's all I need to say.
Yeah, I did not watch it. Tyler said he watched 30 minutes of it and then quit because he couldn't stand it.
Hard quit.
Yeah.
That's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, no, that's not good. It must have been real shitty. Tyler's willing to sit through some garbage, and he didn't sit through that at all.
Tyler didn't he sit through the Cloverfield Paradox?
I believe he did.
God damn. He also just sits and watches stuff all fucking day. Oh, I guess we could turn what we watched into our weeks.
Well, hold on real quick. I gotta talk about what I watched real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was it. Wow.
Oh, yeah. No.
I should have known.
So I just spent a lot of time at our new house today waiting for them to install internet. So I was watching some of the episodes of Violet Evergarden I'm catching up on. And
that's actually what I was going to talk about.
The internet's real upset with Violet Evergarden because they were very hyped up and they didn't know what exactly it was about. For anyone who doesn't know, Violet Evergarden is a story of like post-World War. It's like a fictional World War. World War Germany. After the war, this girl who fought in the war literally knew nothing but being a soldier now has to go back to being a civilian. And she just can't adjust to life. And this is right after the war. This profession is coming about where it's basically you ghostwrite letters for people who can't typewrite. And she's kind of like, how do I put it? Like emotionally disconnected from everything. And her goal right now is that she was really close to this one captain she had. And the last thing he said to her before he died was, "I love you." And she doesn't really understand that emotion. So her character goal is understand like more in meaning what people are saying. So she's going around writing these letters for people and trying to figure out what they're like really trying to say in their letters. And it's very episodic in nature and it's well animated, but it doesn't have a real plot going for it. And I don't blame them for it. But the internet hates this show because like, oh, what the fuck? Nothing's happening. It's just episodic. And I don't dislike it for that. I personally enjoy it. I think this shows a good lesson for the anime community to have about managing your expectations. Because this is a well-animated show. The episode-to-episode plot is good. I personally don't see there being an overarching plot, but the individual plots are pretty good. And the other show I watched, which I think Luigi and I are both watching, is called Laid Back Camp. This is,
oh god,
for all intents and purposes, a cute girls doing cute things style show where your main appeal is just watching cute anime girls do things. So this show is about anime girls going camping. And not gonna lie, it's one of the more relaxing shows I've watched. I love watching this before I go to bed. But this show just reminds me of how much we were glamping last summer.
Oh, dude, we so fucking were. Because
these characters like legit camping, but like this show feels like an infomercial. Like they're talking about like, oh, what kind of tent do you want when you go camping? Oh, when you gather firewood, get this type because it's better. And I feel like I'm learning about camping from an anime, so I love it. But I'm on episode 2 of 12. I know Luigi, I think he started it or is planning on starting it. But point is, we're both going to work through that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
You two are like the anime hounds. I mean, I
dude.
know you obviously, but like I always forget how much he just fucking keeps right pace with
Yo,
you.
he needs stuff to do in between his raids, and I finally convinced him to try Guild Wars 2. And one day he's like, "Yeah, I'm like maybe level 2, level 5." I'm like, "Okay, so you just finished the tutorial." The other day he's like, "Yeah, I have 3 characters at max level right now." And I'm like, "Jesus, Luigi."
Does he do anything other than just go home and fucking raid? It's ridiculous.
And in his defense, I finally got into a consistent raid group for Guild Wars, so I'm doing that on Saturdays now.
Speaking of, a boy Guzma, aka Luigi, is streaming right now apparently.
Oh, what's he doing
According
right
to
now?
Discord, it says he's streaming Silent Autumn.
The hell's Silent
Oh,
Autumn?
it's a fucking level in WoW. It's just
Oh,
a
okay.
raid.
It's a specific raid. Okay.
That's interesting that Discord lets you get that specific on what he unless oh, you know
I
what?
think he manually sets it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he probably named it Silent Autumn Tea House.
Because like 50% of the time I see him on, it says he's playing Vidya games, Vidya. So
Fucking
I'm like, there's
asshole.
no way Discord's doing that.
What an asshole.
Yeah. Looks like
I'll probably turn
Crunchyroll's
on
back.
his stream after this.
Oh man,
Um,
one bit of news I didn't talk about because I'm an awful person. The final episode of Life is Strange, centered around the current characters, released 2 days ago, and I still haven't beat the last chapter.
wow.
So I've got to go do that. That's our
The
transition into
new
Weeb.
persona. The Forever chapter.
Oh my god.
Dude, this is your second boat.
Yeah, basically.
Going so deep on the reference to something
Oh
I've
my
never even
God.
read or watched.
It's okay. I haven't watched either, and I already know exactly what meme you're referring to.
Freeman, what else have you done in the past 2 weeks, just in general? And what are you doing this week?
So we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but me, Tyler, and another friend Leslie are now renting a house together. So we're all
Yeah.
in the process of moving in at the moment. So
I think they're both moved in, right?
pretty much, I went over this morning because we had an internet issue at my office. So I need to go somewhere that I can connect to Google Home. I went back to the house. Both of them have their beds there. Leslie has all of her pets all being loud and smelly in the house. But
You can't say that in a public place. Leslie might hear you and have a panic attack.
whatever. This is gonna
She's
be
already been freaking out, no joke, constantly to me about, oh, Tim, what if Freeman can't stand the birds?
Yo, well, this is gonna come up on Thursday. I already can't stand the animals, so I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about it. I've already bought some soundproofing for my door to see if that helps.
Ooh, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
I only spent 2 afternoons there building furniture, and it's already getting on my nerves. So I'm hoping I get used to it soon.
wow.
The real issue is that I can't have the birds like chirping when I'm on a business phone call because I'm finally getting work from home days.
Yeah.
So this honestly, this podcast is not the avenue to have this discussion, so I'm gonna end that there. But I am excited to move out.
So no joke, this is just germane. I've honestly been worried that the podcast might experience interruptions due to this.
I'm trying to soundproof the doors. I've gotten to the point where I may have to avoid using my nice sounding mic to risk picking them up. But I had my coworker on speakerphone.
I have to use a shittier mic.
Yeah, slightly shittier mic. You'll get, lesser sound quality. But I was on. So when I had to call my coworker from the house today. The birds were still doing their morning chirping routine, but it wasn't picking up when I had my door closed. So I should be good. We could do a test one afternoon when we know the birds are being particularly awful and just see how bad it sounds.
It's gonna be interesting. So are you planning? Actually, we'll talk about it when we're done. We'll talk about it when we're done. Yeah, this isn't really germane. Do you guys have a place though where you're gonna like play stuff, or are you just gonna like set up your bedrooms for? Because you and Tyler play the video games.
Yeah, so I know Tyler's got all of his stuff down in the living room. I'm probably not going to do that too. Just I don't want to avoid like competing game spaces. I do have a TV in my room, so I'm hooking the PS4 up there, mostly just for streaming stuff. But I'll probably just game in my room. I just need to get a more comfy chair, and I'm good.
I feel that, dude. I need to buy a new fucking chair.
Kind of like the one that I'm having like the one that you guys have in your living room, the bowl shaped chair.
Oh, back at home. Oh no,
the one you guys have in your apartment. Yeah, if I can get something like that, that'd be good. Like my desk chair is fine, but it's not the most amazing.
Oh no, I just want a new mesh chair. Mine has so I'm one of those people who always locks it up, but like the locking mechanism on mine is just broken.
Yeah.
Like the little handle just doesn't fucking do anything anymore, so I just kind of have to jam it, and I still lean back, and I don't like it. I want to lean back and be forced to sit up straight.
Yep.
And honestly, one of my next I just dropped my chair by accident because I was fiddling with it while I was talking about it. One of my next major purchases, possibly in the near future, because I'm trying to sell a whole smack load of cards. Speaking of which, people at the store told me a half hour north of here, there's like a big Magic store, like a warehouse store, and you can just bring cards in and sell them.
Oh wow.
So I'm trying to finally organize because you saw how messy the apartment is. I'm gonna try to take. I meant to do it today and yesterday, but I've been lazy fuck. Tomorrow I'm gonna organize those cards really hard. Val can take whatever she wants. I'll take what I want, and then everything else is going up there that I think has value.
Yeah,
So
let me look through it first. I might want to purchase a couple of these from you.
all right, I'll maybe we'll do like a Skype call and I'll just have the camera on and just flick through. Because we're now gonna have 5 binders. At least three of which are gonna be full, depending on how much Val takes. And then I also realized I should go through if I'm gonna go sell cards and like I have preordains just sitting in boxes.
Dang.
Like preordain, always a valuable card to have. Cultivate, Kadama's Reach, like these are things that are cheap, but they're always good to have more copies because people buy them constantly.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to organize everything finally. I'll probably make that my big thing tomorrow because I don't have my new D&D game until next week. Because I told you guys, right?
Yeah, you were telling us that you were going to start a new game with some people you met at the store.
Well, some people at the store. So for Valentine's Day was supposed to be the first session. We didn't do it because Valentine's Day. And then last week, the DM's mom was in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
So we canceled last week. So next week is supposed to be the first time, even though it's been over a month, it should be the first time I finally actually go to a session of this D&D game. But yeah, anything else going on or happening? Just moving.
Just mostly moving. I haven't had time for any video games.
That's fair.
Even Guild Wars, I played for maybe an hour last week when I came for the second half of the raid when most of the good guys dropped out. They're like, all right, get Andrew in here. We need him to help scrub up the mess.
Whoops.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Anything coming up this week or just still also just moving?
Probably just moving. I desperately need to just sit down and catch up on anime. I'm falling behind hard. I'm barely caught up with Darling in the Franxx, and that show's legitimately great right now.
You also should definitely try to go see Black Panther.
Yeah, I know. There's no way I can live in a house with Tyler without seeing all the movies he's seen, because kid's a movie kid.
Dude, they go. Him and Leslie go constantly. I wouldn't be surprised if you start ending up getting dragged along too.
I hope they invite me along.
Oh, of course they. Oh my god. Anyway, so I originally I last time we were on the podcast, I was planning on starting Halo Wars 2 after Halo Wars 1 Let's Play finished. That didn't happen. I found a co-op buddy at the last minute, and their recording windows are limited, so I was like, okay, I'll play Fury. So I started playing Fury. And now tonight I just booted up Dark Souls 3 for the second time ever. I reinstalled Dark Souls 3 because now I'm in the boss rush mode. Fury has been beaten.
Oh, shit.
I beat Fury in about 4.5 hours of total playtime.
Oh, wow, that feels short.
It is very short. All it is boss rush. Boss rush. There's about 10 total bosses. An optional boss. No, this isn't a spoiler because at the end of the Let's Play I fight it. There's an optional boss at the very end of the game, and then there's a DLC which I am not Let's Playing. I actually feel like I kind of impressed myself a little bit, even though I suck. I got low rankings, but I beat... So in the Let's Play, the second boss, I got hard killed for a restart about 3 or 4 times. I don't think, except for the absolute final optional boss, not even the final boss, the optional final boss, did I lose more than that. I lost... there are some bosses that I beat on my first shot, or I think the second to last boss took me 2 full tries. Like a full restart, and then I got it.
Oh, wow.
So I actually think I did pretty well. It's one of those games where... So the optional last boss, I did multiple full restarts. It's a totally bullshit boss. Absolutely insanely bullshit. The last boss is one of those gimmicky last bosses, where it's not really even a fight. It's kind of just there for, like,
story
emotional
purposes.
Stuff. So the second to last guy is the real nut kicker. He is, like, your equal. That whole fight is just how perfectly can you time hitting the parry button. Like, most of the fight, you're not even allowed to hit him. If you try to hit him, he just dodges instantly.
Oh damn.
You just have to perfectly parry like an 8-hit string at some points. It was really fucking tough. But I did it. I'm not going to do the DLC. I booted into the DLC at the very end of the Let's Play. You guys will see it in like a day or two, I think. I booted into the DLC. First guy totally kicked my ass, and I was like, I'm just done. I can't. I don't have it in me after what I already did to go, especially because the last optional boss is so bullshit. I just couldn't go into the DLC, so I'm done with Fury. It's a very fun game. Freeman, you should play it at some point just because the aesthetic is so cool.
Looking through trailers right now, it looks really good.
And the music is really, really bopping your speed.
Hell yeah.
It's real good.
It also helps that I finally now have a real controller for PC. So
there you go.
I bit the bullet and bought a customized Xbox controller from the Xbox Design Labs.
Ooh,
so that just came
really?
in yesterday. I was trying it out. It feels real nice. It's orange and white, creamsicle colored. Something no one else would ever really want. So I'm happy I have that. I just need to get
Where did you get it from?
Xbox Design Labs. I think it's like $80 for a fully customized one.
Oh, cool.
So it's not that much more expensive than a normal one.
Can you customize like an Elite one? Or
you can't customize Elite ones. They've discussed they might do that in the future.
I would do that in a second if they did Elite ones.
But they do allow you to do some upgrades. Like I had the was it the triggers and the D-pad? I had swapped out with metallic buttons for like $3. So
Freeman.
Yes.
I just scrolled to the bottom of their page and it says customized Xbox Elite wireless controller and Elite accessories.
No.
See what's new. Is it actually out?
No, this can't be.
It's something called Scuff Gaming.
No. Probably.
Xbox. Oh no, it's like things you can buy later to change it. But it's not a fully customizable Elite right off the bat.
Yeah.
But that's so funny that I saw that immediately. Yeah, you can't do it, Freeman. That's super cool though. I would love to do a customized Elite just because I'm a huge snob, but I've so fallen in love with the Elite, I can't go back.
Yeah, I feel you.
I gotta say the Xbox One controller has really been impressive.
I definitely. So as someone who didn't particularly like the 360 controller when it came out, I definitely really like the feel of the Xbox One controller.
Wow, this is really This is really customizable.
Yeah, they just added a bunch of colors recently too.
There's a fuck ton of colors. This is actually super neat. I had no idea at all that this existed. This is super cool. Did you get rubberized grips?
I didn't, but it already sort of feels pretty grippy, so.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does.
I mean, I'm used to the way the PS4 controllers where it's just like smooth as hell. So.
Oh, you can get metallic triggers too. Can you build this into an Elite practically?
Not really, but.
D-pad, metallic D-pad.
I did the metallic D-pad and the metallic triggers. I didn't go for the engraving on it because I'm like, nah, I don't want to embarrass myself down the road.
That's a little chic.
Yeah.
Or a little goop. Oh, dude, I would so get colored. Did you get colored letters?
No, I didn't. I actually fucked mine up. I was trying to get all white buttons, in the last second I swapped out the white face buttons for the black ones, and now it ruined my aesthetic.
Oh, dude.
I felt upset that I already screwed it.
Do you mean the white buttons with the white text,
or
the white?
I went to get
black with white.
I was trying to get like the white buttons with gray text, and I ended up going with the black buttons with white text.
Oh.
Yeah, I ruined it.
Dude, I would want to get the color just for the classic Xbox look. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it does look sick.
You can even colorize the button color. That's so fucking cool. Wait, so if I type out my engraving, oh my god, it does show it on there. Oh, I love it when they preview it like that.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I would get the Timpedia controller for sure. This is fucking... So you can spend $100 on a custom... That's such a genius idea. Holy shit, this is so cool. I just want to do this just to have one now. Like, buy it, never use it, and just stick it on a shelf.
Just have a nice collectible item for your viewing pleasure.
Well, yeah.
And possibly for gameplay pleasure, whatever.
It's a backup for when the Elite dies before the next model of Elite comes out. Other than that, though, I have actually not played Witcher 3 much at all, only because I haven't been recording it that much. I've been recording Fury a lot and Halo Wars. So I was going to say, Fury is going to be done. Halo Wars, I actually have 2 sessions recorded now that my friend and I did over this weekend. So I have a bunch of episodes of Halo Wars, and I'm hoping to keep up a regular release schedule. if we can find time before they come out to consistently record, which would be awesome. But if that doesn't happen, I think I'm going to bite the bullet and start Shadow of War. Because I wasn't able to play that on my old graphics card, but I'm hoping with the new one it'll work. And now that originally I didn't want to because I didn't want to be playing Witcher off camera and that off camera. But since I'm not playing Witcher off camera anymore because I have nothing to do except story content because I've done all the side stuff.
Yeah.
I might as well get Shadow of War going so I can just ditz around in that off camera and just go kill orcs. The only thing that might put a stop to that is in Witcher 3, the final DLC has a whole new region, and I'm guessing there's going to be side stuff to do there. So, but that'll be a brief thing, if anything, and I think that won't get on top of each other. So that's what to expect is Fury's going to finish, possibly even by the time you've seen this, Fury might be almost done. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to release it. Then Halo Wars 2 is going to start. Shadow of War might show up in there. Witcher 3 is definitely going to continue because I still have multiple sessions of footage that hasn't released yet. I had so much of that game fucking done. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that's about it for me. Other than that, this upcoming week, not much. Go to the store, play Commander. Keep playing games. Try to go sell those cards at some point. I'm thinking of taking a trip up there. I actually bought a suit on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Because I'm going to a wedding next Friday, actually. I guess that's something. Next Thursday to Sunday, I am going to Arizona for my cousin's wedding. And I had to Val made me buy a new suit because mine, she claimed, was horribly fitting. And spent hundreds of dollars on a suit and pants and ties and shirts and shoes and fuck. Oh well, it'll be a good time. I'll see my family and everything out in Arizona, and that'll be fun. But yeah, that's basically it for me. I'm just gonna try to get lots of recording done before I go, so I don't have to worry about that. Because I do record a lot on weekends, so losing a weekend slows things down a little bit.
Got to build up that backlog.
Yep. I mean, thankfully, Witcher 3's had a backlog for months now. I don't think since like halfway through the series have I uploaded Witcher 3 as I've recorded it. I've just had backlog to go through. But yeah, that's about it. I think we're gonna call it here. Next week, Tyler will hopefully be back.
We can continue our top 10 list.
Yes, next week we will continue our top 10 lists. Other than that, yeah, I don't think Tyler's doing much because, like Freeman mentioned, he's moving in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we're gonna call it there. So for the TN, for the one and only hopefully episode of the TN podcast,
the one non-magic special, the two of us.
Yeah, the one non-magic special too. Even though we kind of turned it into a magic.
Yeah, pretty much
special.
always happens.
We talked about tons of other shit, so it's fine. But so for the TNT podcast, this is Tim.
This is Friedman.
And we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.